My answer, and I think my answer might give you maybe some context and some perspective that may help you as much as it has helped me. So the question was, how do I separate the noise? And it was actually framed the bullshit noise. How do I separate all the noise from the criticism that deserves my attention? Awesome question. Thank you for the question. So between the noise and the criticism that deserves our attention, that's valuable criticism compared to all the bullshit chirping and noise. And there's so much noise that goes on out there from the moment we wake up, the moment we open our phone, the moment we walk out the door, we go to work, we go to school, whatever it is, there's a lot of noise that surrounds us. So what I've learned over the years is to do my best. I look at this ability to separate the noise from the valuable criticism. It's almost like a tool that we have in our toolbox, our emotional toolbox that I've learned to sharpen over the years. And it's much easier said than done. How do you block out the noise? We hear that all the time. So I'll give you two examples on how I learned to separate the two. So first we'll start with the noise, the bullshit noise. So about a year or so ago, a buddy of mine, Joe Rogan, who, as many of you know, especially here in the US, has a podcast. And for those of you around the world who don't know who Joe Rogan is, he has a podcast, probably the most successful, the biggest podcast here in America. And I would argue probably one of the biggest around the world, if not the biggest. So he's a buddy of mine. I've known him for years. About a year or two ago, he posted something where he shot a video down the lens, no production, nothing like that. And he was apologizing about something. I can't remember what it was. And he was straight up, he was accountable. And essentially his message was, hey, I get it. I completely see it now. I understand. And I'm going to be better. And I love that. I thought it was simple. I thought it was clean. And I commented on his page and I said something like, hey, brother, great job taking accountability for your shit and just looking to evolve and get better. It's what we all want to do. We all get knocked down. We all get back up. We learn. We move on. And I said, so when I come on your show, we'll break out the Terramana tequila and we'll have a drink. Well, my comment, it sparked so much noise. And it meant, people jumped on that comment from me and they said, oh, that means that Therock is pro this. He's anti this. He's anti that. He's pro this. Turned it into this big political shit show that I thought, wow, I was just really taken aback by it. And I thought, and like any time that you get this kind of reaction and engagement, I like to pause, I like to look, and I really like to try and understand where it's coming from. And then I like to engage, because it's just like if somebody comes up to you and they say, hey, I feel like this, I feel like that, I'm not gonna ignore them. Let's talk about it and let's get to a good place. So I started to respond in DM. I started to respond outside of DM to some people. And then the moment I responded to this person, well, this group jumped on me. And the moment I responded to this person, well, then this group jumped on me. And they tried their best to really divide Joe and I. But here was the irony that set me down a path of understanding noise from real criticism that deserved my attention. The irony was Rogan and I were texting each other on the side during this whole thing. And we were like, can you fucking believe this craziness? This is fucking wild. Man, anyway, how you doing? How's your workouts? How's this? Great. How's the family? Great. I'll see you down the road. We'll catch a workout and I'll come on your show. We'll catch a drink. All right, brother, goodbye. That was it. And what I realized in that, and from that experience, was the people who I was trying to engage with and coming to them with wise brain, open hands. Hey, let's talk about this. You think this is actually what I meant, and you said this, but I'm a little unsure of what that means. So let's talk about this. I realized that as genuine as my approach was with these people actually didn't want to resolve anything. They weren't looking to really have great engagement. They weren't looking at any kind of resolve. They weren't looking at getting to a better place. I realized, wow, All these people want, the noisemakers, the chirpers, all they want is to get the attention, to get the clicks, to raise their profile, and then the next week they're moving on to somebody else or some other thing that they can latch onto. And I realized there, it really made me sharpen my tools in terms of being aware of people who are really just looking for the clicks. They're really not looking to resolve anything. Don't engage with them and move on. So there's an example of understanding the noise, the bullshit noise. Now, I will tell you this. There were some people who I engaged with who, in DM, who truly wanted resolve. And we had great conversations, debated a little bit, but ultimately at the end, again, wise brain, open hands, like you tell me, I'll tell you, we get to a better place, I wish you the best of luck, thank you for this engagement, we move on. So there's one example of learning to separate the bullshit noise from the criticism that's worthy of my attention. Okay, so criticism that was worthy of my attention, here's my last example, my second example to be my last one, and then I'm out. I started my career, as you all know, 1996 Survivor Series as Rocky Maivia. I come in, this is my first official match in the WWE. Vince McMahon doesn't tell me what's gonna happen. He doesn't tell me the finish until maybe 2 hours before I'm supposed to go out that night. Madison Square Garden, live pay-per-view, sold out, 22,000 people. He comes to me and says, you're gonna win everything tonight. I about fucking fainted. I went, what? He goes, yeah, I'm throwing you into the fire. Baptism by fire head first, you have no choice. You're either gonna fucking sink or you're gonna swim. It's New York City. You heard the analogy. If you could make it here, you can make it anywhere. And now you're gonna get the test of a lifetime. I went out there, as many of you know, because you followed my career. Thank you, by the way. 22,000 people. By the end of the match, 2 minutes before the match is ending, 22,000 people were chanting, Rocky, Rocky. I had goosebumps covering my body. I'll never forget Crush, Brian Adams, rest in peace, my brother. I remember he was one of my opponents in the ring at that time, and I could quietly hear him whisper, there you go. Fuck yeah, that's it, because that's what you want in that world of pro wrestling. You want to galvanize people and bring everybody together. So chanting my name, I made it in New York City. I became a son of New York City, and I was off to the races in my career. 3 months later, I had arenas everywhere across the country. 3 months later, they were all chanting, Rocky sucks. Rocky sucks. Now, when you get 22,000 chanting Rocky, it's an amazing feeling. When you get 22,000 chanting Rocky sucks, that's not an amazing feeling. And it's pretty fucking extreme and hardcore. And the people who had influence in my career at that time, and they were all well-meaning. They would tell me every night, Rock, listen, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna hear the people boo the fuck out of you. Now, by the way, I'm a good guy. And not only am I a good guy, a babyface in the world of wrestling, I'm the Intercontinental Champion. There were only 2 championship titles back then. Now there's a whole bunch of them. There was the heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title. I was the Intercontinental Champion. I was the youngest Intercontinental Champion in the history of the WWE. And my colleagues would tell me, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna hear them chant, Rocky sucks, just ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. I got that advice every single night. Ignore them, ignore them. Now think about this. There's noise that we ignore, we swat away, it's bullshit. Then there's noise / criticism that's valuable, that's worthy of our attention. I didn't know it yet, because everybody was telling me ignore them. And that's what you want to do, by the way. You want to ignore that shit. Well, months go by. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking that my career is coming to an end. I'm thinking, do I need to start an MMA career? They just opened up Pride in Japan. I swear to God, this was in '97. I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? Because I don't think that I can make it in the WWE, because these people are chanting Rocky sucks every night. And I didn't understand the why until I was finally open to understanding why. And I realized, just like that, one night I was having drinks, with one of my great mentors. You wrestling aficionados know his name was Pat Patterson, and we were out, we were having dinner, and I said, Pat, I just don't know what to do. And Pat was a brilliant mind in the world of pro wrestling, as many of you know. He was like a father figure to me. And I said, Pat, I don't know what to do. And he goes, and I was injured at that time. I was off for a couple of months. He goes, here's the thing. When you come back, you gotta be you. And I went, I don't even know what that means. What do you mean? I am me. He goes, no, you're not. I said, what do you mean? He said, these people aren't booing you because they don't like you. They're booing you because you're not being yourself. And he goes, think about it. Every night when you go out there and they're booing you, and you're told, hey, just smile, ignore it and smile. I was told that all the time, by the way. Smile, ignore it. You fucking suck. Hey, thanks, man, I appreciate it. I had to smile through it. He goes, think about that. You go out there and you have to smile through all this noise. But in reality, what do you want to do? And I went, well, I want to fucking slap them around is what I want to do. And I want to show them, oh, you think I suck? I'm a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. Watch this. Boom. Drop some fucking people's elbows on people. And he goes, that's right. And he goes, so when you do come back, you respond to those people how you want to naturally respond. Be yourself. When I came back a couple of months later from my injury, I tore my PCL. I joined the Nation of Domination. I asked Vince McMahon, can you just give me live interview time, 60 seconds? He said, sure. I grabbed the microphone. I said, listen, you're chanting Rocky sucks, but I'm a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. I joined the Nation. It wasn't because a white thing, a black thing, it's a respect thing. And basically, I said, I'm gonna earn your respect one way or the other. I said something like that. And within a month, I became the hottest heel, bad guy in the company, and the rest is history, as you guys know. My point to all this is I ignored the noise for so long until I realized that this wasn't noise, this was criticism that was worthy of my attention. And that criticism from the fans, the valuable lesson that I learned that I took with me for the rest of my career that I still practice today, is the power of being yourself. Even in that crazy world of fictionalized pro wrestling, there's value in being who you are from in here. And then I was myself. And then I grabbed the microphone and it was over. And so there's the example of that what you think it's noise, and you gotta be counterintuitive because everybody will hear noise, Rocky sucks, or boo, you fucking suck, or whatever it is. Sometimes it's noise, but sometimes it's more than noise. Sometimes it's the thing you gotta listen to. But by the way, that applies to you guys out there around the world. You don't have to be in an arena with 20,000 people chanting that at you. It could be at work, it could be at school, it could be criticism, it could be dialogue, whatever it is. Being open to that and looking a little bit further, looking a little bit around the corner, and then you see, got it. This isn't noise. This is criticism here, and I can learn from it. I'm not gonna take it personal, but I am gonna take it serious, and that's what I do. I'll leave you with one thought. Holy shit, this is 15 minutes of your life you're never gonna get back. I got a cheat meal that's waiting for me. I'll leave you with this thought. At the end of the day, when we strip all this away, and there's so much noise around the world right now, there's so much noise, man. And there's a lot of toxicity out there. But just remember this. Haters, toxic people, they can never break what they didn't build. So I look around at everything that I've been able to build. Really lucky in my career that I've been able to build. People can't break that because they didn't build it. So same thing with you. Look around in your world. You see what you've built or what you want to build, what you have goals and ambitions and dreams to build, what you are currently building. Haters, toxic people, the fucking chirpers, they can't break any of that because they didn't build it. So keep that in mind as you're building. I hope this helps. 15 minutes of your life you're never gonna get back. Have a productive week, kick some ass, do some fun shit. I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you as always for the questions.